Hey guys, it's Bonnie from Dwelling Logs. I thought I would just come before my kids wake up because they're not up yet and see if I could film a video even though the sun's not even up yet. So come finish my coffee with me. I want to tell you all about how our game schooling has been going this last week of our school, sort of formal, not formal, end of school year. Okay, so what we had planned for this year was that we were going to go into the first week of December, still doing all of our regular school stuff, but then we were going to put all the books away, and this whole entire week, it's Friday now, we've been just doing game schooling, which has been amazing. Benefits of game schooling are huge, like the logic and the combination of fun and those endorphins you get from laughing and being together and playing together, along with just sharpening skills. I mentioned logic, math skills is just huge. For me, that's one thing where it's like, I really want my kids to have a good, strong foundation of math. And when you put the math book away for the year and you think, oh man, we're not gonna touch that until January, game schooling is such a great math sharpening time because of all the dice, any games with money, anything like that. Like, we're doing math so much, and actually the kids' mental math has just shot up this week. They're just shining in their mental math right now. So that was really good. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about how it's been going because it's been super fun. We've been doing game schooling and then just adding in kind of our Advent tradition, some reading basically, but all the books are downstairs. Special snacks, lots of hot chocolate, and kind of cozy time, which just really feels good. I would say one of the challenges that I've had this week is to prioritize game schooling. I feel like after I put the books downstairs and I was like, okay, it's game schooling week, it's really easy to say, oh, the kitchen needs to be cleaned. We'll play our game after that. Or, oh, hey, I need to run to town for groceries. We'll play our game when we get back. It's really easy because I think mentally we take game time and recreation time and we put it on the bottom of the priority pile. So one of the challenges that we've tried to rise to this week is to make sure that we're putting game schooling on the top of the priority pile, because usually school's up there, so to really treat it like our school time. So that has been a challenge. The other thing that has been a challenge, which is good and I'm happy for it to happen, is just that whole winning and losing and being good sportsmen as we're playing games and that kind of thing. That's been kind of a constant conversation, and I'm actually super excited to have such a concentrated time of game schooling because I feel like the kids are really getting into a good practice of being good losers, and being good winners too, humble winners. Not that they're perfect by any means, but I think that's really good to hammer home. So it's not just practiced every once in a while, but we could do it consistently. Being happy for your brother and sister when they win, not flaunting your win in an overly crazy way, I guess, but that we could all just have fun with it, and that also has helped to say, hey, well, you didn't win that one, but we're going to play another one, and to keep those things going. I'm going to talk about what our favorite games have been, but first too, I wanted to mention with toddlers. So my kids are 10 is my oldest, and then 8, and then 5. So what I also wanted to mention is for my 5-year-old too, one of my goals for this week was to make school fun and exciting. So I'm not going to, I could, but what I decided not to do, I'm not going to take the game that I see as the most academic and make my kids play it. I want them involved in the choice of what game is there because I really need the fun driven home. We're going to benefit from these games with logic and math and the rest, but I want the fun to be at the front of the priority pile too. And so I think what could potentially ruin a game schooling week is if you forced a game onto your kids that they didn't really want to play, but it just felt like you have skills that the game is going to sharpen in your kids, so you're pushing it. It could quickly squash the whole vibe. So I thought I'd mention that. And then also for my youngest, for my 5-year-old, her play is optional. I don't expect her to sit at the table for some of these longer games we're playing. She often likes to play her own game, not teaming up with me for even the harder games. So she's very assisted playing. But if she just wants to go and play with her ponies or something, I'm gonna roll her turns for her and play her turns for her. One of the boys will do that. And for the boys though, it's not quite as fun if one of them leaves. But I will also leave it open if we're playing a really long game and everyone seems to be tired of it, or maybe there's only one of us who are really into it. I will give the option of maybe we change the game. So just staying flexible to keep that fun at the forefront. I don't want them to look back on game schooling and say like, oh, that was an exhausting week. I don't want to do that again. The goal for this is to make the end of the year go out with a bang, a punch, to have fun together, to create memories together, and then all the benefits of game schooling. Because I just really believe that there's so many great things about game schooling that will show up in their life and their schoolwork later too. I really do think that that's a really good thing. So something I thought was worth adding, I thought of after, was I do try to stay away from kids editions or junior editions of games. We've got a couple of them, and I've always found that my kids much prefer the adult version, even at a younger age. I would rather assist my kid at the older version than play the junior version. I just find that the junior versions, they don't usually last very long because your kids grow older, and they are usually easier to learn and play, but it just seems like they don't stick. They just get bought and then sit in our dresser. So highly recommend just trying to plow through, assist your child with the adult version until they can learn it. Very optional for my youngest. She comes and goes because I want to make sure it's fun for her. If she feels trapped at the table, that's going to squash the fun. Favorite games that we've done. So actually one of the very first game that my kids wanted to play, which is actually school, we got the Wonder Budget Simulator from Monique made it from Wonder House Creative. I'll put the link down below. I'm not affiliated with her at all, but I love her. I get to work with her at Nature City Club a little bit. And she makes really great games. We actually have another game that we bought of hers in the physical form called Dig. That's a family favorite game. We actually haven't played that this week. But she has this budget simulator where you simulate real life finances, and you can make it simple as far as just like paying bills. You can use Monopoly money, or you can do like a bank tracker at like a checking account as you play the game, and you can simulate your money in life. Or you can start to get into credit trackers and loan trackers and investment trackers if you have older kids, or if you just want to make things a little bit more complex as you get to know the game or get to know the activity. Anyways, I don't know if I should call it a game. It's a printable. You print it out. We've printed ours out. We've laminated the stuff that we would reuse again. And this is probably our 4th time bringing it out and playing it. And we find that we can usually simulate about 2 weeks without it drawing out too many hours. We've tried to simulate a whole month before and we've done it, but it's taken us all day. Some cool things about the Wonder Budget Simulator though is it's very good with math. That's probably the one that my kids are just shining stars right now with all their math. But it's really fun. It really shows them, when they get a payday, and then they have to take like half off for taxes. They pay for health insurance. It's making them really see the costs in life. Plus there's extra spending. If you want a pet, you're gonna have to pay for pet food that month. And they can really see how quickly money's just gone with just everyday life expenses. There's unexpected expenses that you can get on just depending on what cards you draw and stuff. So I think it's a really great real life teacher. And my kids just really love it. They think it's a game, so it's great. Anyway, so that I highly recommend. And if you have the potential for using it, I highly recommend taking the time to do some laminated or put some into covers that you can use like dry erase markers and reuse. That's what we do, and it works really good. Okay, and then Settlers of Catan. Our family loves Settlers of Catan. We're not like big into, we don't have all the expansion packs. We just have like the bigger expansion pack so we can play with more than 4 people. Other than that, we don't do seafarers and stuff, but maybe we will someday. I really like just the original game. I've played the other expansions at other people's homes before, and I just like the regular one, the original. So highly recommend Settlers of Catan. What other one? Oh, of course, Monopoly. Monopoly's been out. Again, really strong math game, and everybody I feel like loves Monopoly, at least all the kids. So maybe not every adult, and it does take some time. But when you do a game schooling week where you're basically intending on spending a bunch of hours playing games that day anyways, you can take out those longer games that on other regular days you might be more hesitant to try. We love Risk. We still have to play that. It's Friday though now. Like, we gotta look at our game cupboard and be like, what are the last ones we're playing? Apples to Apples is a game that my mom loves to play with the kids. So when she was over one afternoon, she played Apples to Apples with them. My mom is hilarious and she's very giggly, and the kids, like, the table's just full of laughter and fun and stuff like that. So Apples to Apples was a fun one. That's very good for, if you've never played it before, you have like a stack of nouns, and then you have cards that are adverbs to describe the noun, and you turn over a noun, and then everyone around the table is holding a handful of adverbs, and you put what you think is your most appropriate or funny adverb to the noun. So I would say a very strong grammar game, and it's mostly just, you just get a kick out of it. It's just funny. If you have younger kids too, we often will put some of the name cards aside because there's people in the game, and my kids don't know all the people of the 90s or earlier. So there's some cards that are relevant to them, so we just kind of keep those out of the pile. I don't think, other than that, I don't think there's any PG cards and stuff in there. So I think that should be okay for most families, but there's just some name cards that wouldn't quite be relevant, or even periods in history or things like that. So you have to kind of just gauge your kids. But if you flip over a noun that you guys just don't know, you can just put it to the side and flip over a different one. So easy enough. So Apples to Apples is really good. So those have been our top games so far, and we will keep on playing some more, I'm sure. And it's been really fun, but the kids have been asking for that budget simulator every single day. They want to simulate at least a week every day. So it's been really a fun thing. Oh, the other thing I was going to say about the budget sim was there is a way to earn extra cash above and beyond your payday. And those in the game that you get, it looks kind of like sell a digital product, and it'll say underneath, like, actually go and do a drawing on an iPad or something like that, or go create something on, a free Canva app or something, so that the kids are actually doing projects in real life to earn money in the game. There's other things like go do a chore around the house that maybe isn't your regular responsibility. I can't remember what that one's called. I've added ones like open a theater, go clean up the couch area and get the downstairs ready for a movie night. I've done one that says pop-up bakery, go bake something for the family to eat, muffins or cookies or something like that. So one of the reasons why that game takes a little longer is because we're actually doing things around the house, or chores, or something nice, something creative, something artsy, that's earning us cash in the game, and the kids want to do it. And they do it for the pretend money in the game, which is really fun. So we've actually got quite a bit of housework done through that game, which is great because I'm having company in 6 days and I have a lot to do. Our fridge broke yesterday, so I have to go fridge shopping today, which is gonna cut into our game time a little bit. But yeah, it's nice to have a game where we can do a little bit of housework too and prep. Anyway, so that's kind of my thoughts, or our experience in a nutshell. The kids have been having a great time. Yesterday, my middle kid came and he's like, oh my goodness, is tomorrow the last game schooling day? And I said, yeah, but we can still play games into the Christmas holidays. Now it's gonna be free play. The other benefit I should mention too, which I wish I would have put in the earlier list, but that's okay, is the benefit of doing a game schooling week is that the other temptation it is for me when I have things to do and my priority pile is always flexing and I'm always thinking about what I need to do, it's really easy at my kids' ages, as they're getting older now, to say, you guys go play a game. Go get a game out. That's a great activity for you to do. Whereas Gameschooling week makes me sit down with the kids. It's more fun for them. It is fun for me. It forces me to take some recreation time, but to keep that kind of dynamic as, you know, what we would be doing if it was a school day and that kind of thing. So I think that's a really good thing. Makes me play more games with them, and I want to do that. And it's a lot of fun. So I definitely think this could be potentially be a tradition that we keep every December, where like the week before we have Christmas break, we do Gameschooling. I have talked about Gameschooling before, and I have always thought, oh, that'd be a great thing to put in our year somewhere multiple times a year. I'd love to do like a big, not just a day, but a week of Gameschooling. And we could do that in another time of year too, but I keep having years go by where I'm like, oh, we should do a Gameschooling week, and it just doesn't happen. Whereas December just feels like a great time to make it happen, and it actually will. So we succeeded this year. We actually have a Gameschooling week that we have done. We're just about finished. I highly recommend considering a Gameschooling week for your family. I think it's really great for bonding, for relationships, for that cozy hygge vibe that we all want in December. For, like I said, all the skills that get sharpened. Games are fantastic education tools for a huge variety of skills. So yeah, highly recommend that. Oh, and we played Wingspan. That's another one. I highly recommend finding other families' favorite games. If you're, you know, wanting to invest in games, check out what are families' favorite ones, because those just seem to hold true. There's a lot of our favorite games are the same favorites of other families. I hate to spend, you know, 60, 70, 80 bucks on a game that we don't like very much. So I definitely have some on our bucket list. We're not like game gurus with like a huge closet full of games. We do have one dresser downstairs that has some games in it. But I would like to keep my eye out for certain ones. There's a game called Axis and Allies that I have heard is really good, and my boys are really interested in. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna see if Uncle can bring that at Christmas time, and maybe we can give it a trial run before we invest in it. Trying to think of other favorites though. Settlers of Catan for sure. This budget simulator, which isn't a game, it's a printable pack for learning, but my kids think it's a game and it's great. I'll link that below. Monopoly, I feel like everybody's probably got Monopoly. You can get it at the grocery store usually. So yeah, anyway, if there's any others, maybe I'll do an Instagram post if I can think of, go through our games and actually write down our family favorites that I feel like are worth getting. That would be really good. Oh, Ticket to Ride, that was one we got last year, and that has been a game we've actually played quite a lot, which is really good. I feel like it's not too much of a strategy game, and it comes up a lot in other people's favorite games as well. So anyway, let me know if you have a favorite game, because currently I am going to poll people and friends and look for those. So tell me your favorite family game in the comment section below, because I would really like to add to our game collection, maybe on Boxing Day or sometime when some of those things go on sale. So I hope this was a helpful video, inspirational. Have a game week. I highly recommend it, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.